A Montgomery cop accused of breaking the law, and it's all caught on camera. Good evening. I'm Mark Bullock.
And I'm Valerie Lawson. The video has gone viral and now has made its way to the police department.
It shows a uniformed officer and another driver drag racing on their motorcycles. Tonight, we hear from the chief of police and the guy who recorded the race. It's a story you'll see only on WSFA 12 News. Reporter Tametria Connor is standing by where that race happened. Tametria, tell us more.
Well, Mark, the race started right here behind me. I'm at the intersection of the Eastern Boulevard and Young Barn Road. The boulevard, one of the busiest streets in Montgomery, but that still did not stop a Montgomery police officer from racing in broad daylight with another motorist.
Well, race? Huh? Let's see.
Montgomery Police Chief Kevin Murphy says he's embarrassed by this video.
Very upsetting.
I'm paying attention to the light this time.
A clearly identifiable uniformed officer accepts the challenge of drag racing not once but twice Sunday afternoon.
And for the very thing that we're out here enforcing the law, for an officer to cross that line and violate it, there's no excuse. I will not tolerate it. And he's no longer wearing the badge.
A race that Chief Murphy says cost him his job. The officer resigned before being terminated. Now he may face a charge.
There may be a traffic violation charge against this former officer for drag racing. And the elements are there. You know, one just has to look at the video and see for themselves.
But the guy who challenged the officer disagrees. Racing, period, no matter how fast you go, is against the law. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
So do you think an officer breaking the law, no matter what level it is, burglary, drag racing, do you think something is wrong with that?
Honestly, I think the cop was just trying to have a good time.
Lawrence Lee Spillers recorded the race on his GoPro HD cam attached to his helmet.
And we rode down the boulevard. We didn't even go above 60 miles per hour. We got to the light down by Best Buy, and we did it again.
This 5-minute race posted on YouTube has already gone viral.
I don't think he should be charged with anything, and I don't think he should lose his job over it.
You know, the right thing when this guy pulled up was, hey, you want to race? No, young man, I write tickets for that. I don't suggest you do it. That should have been the response, not what we saw.
And Chief Murphy says this one officer's action does not reflect the entire organization. He says although this video was shocking and disappointing, he does see video of other officers doing good in the community. Now, Chief Murphy did not reveal this officer's identity, and we were not able to find out who this officer was in order to get his side of the story. We're live in Montgomery. Tametria Connor, WSFA 12 News.
All right, Tametria. Chief Murphy says the officer had been with the department for just a couple of years. You can watch that video, the full 5 minutes of it, on our WSFA Facebook page or WSFA.com. It's been posted on the internet lately. Meanwhile, the chief has asked us to pass along, if you see an officer breaking the law, you can call his office directly at 241-2810.
Tonight, an online petition is gaining signatures in support of a former Montgomery police officer. Good evening, everyone. I'm Valerie Lawson.
I'm Mark Bullock. Since we first broke this story last night, it has been getting national attention. The officer resigned after he was captured on video drag racing in the streets.
And the other driver who recorded that, what he calls a joyride, is now using social media to try to get the officer his job back. We also spoke to the officer himself tonight. WSFA 12 News reporter Tametria Connor has the new information. Tametria?
Yes, Val, I've been texting that officer all day today. He did not want to use his name or for us to release his name, but he did give me this statement saying, quote, I don't have any hard feelings against the department. All my life and throughout my career, I have tried to be humble and reserved, but I'm not perfect. If I could start over, I would have never done what I did. I appreciate everyone's support, and I can't believe how everything has turned around for me. I guess it's the will of God, end quote. Now the guy who challenged the officer to the race is trying to push to restore this officer.
Well, race?
Lawrence Lee Spillers, the guy racing with the now former Montgomery police officer, says it may sound contradictory, but he has started a petition to get the cop's job back.
I just wanted to start it because I feel bad for the officer and his family.
That's because Spillers recorded the race that went viral on YouTube.
We posted it thinking that, you know, it's just something fun, something that you don't run across every day, and that's why we did it. Our intentions were never to get the cop in trouble, we definitely didn't think he would lose his job.
The officer resigned before being terminated. Now Spillers has hundreds of likes and comments on his online Facebook petition to restore this officer.
A lot of you may have negative opinions about it, some may be positive, but it's worth a shot.
Brandon Yates says, I hope they will allow the officer to get back on the job. He honestly seems like a good dude. Pastor Joshua Tatum says, I understand the role of leadership, and that was a poor example. But on the other hand, give him his job back. Ashley James Bergen says, the fact of the matter is not how fast you all were racing. So nice of you to try to help, but the issue is he was doing something that he should be arresting others for. And that's the same thing Montgomery Police Chief Kevin Murphy says.
Police officers should obey the law, not violate it. And you don't have to exceed the posted speed limit in order for the charge of drag racing. It's just the contest of accelerating fast in order to overtake and lead the other motorists.
And let's take a look at the latest numbers on that Facebook petition that's posted on our WSFA Facebook page right now. It has about 371 likes and 61 comments. The conversation is continuing online. Look for the petition on our WSFA Facebook page and the app to share your comments. Val?
The story generating a lot of conversation. All right, thanks a lot, Tametria. The chief is firm in his decision and has a zero tolerance for officers who break the law. As the chief stated, this officer will not be wearing a Montgomery police officer's badge.
Reinstated. The officer caught on camera street racing in Montgomery is back on the force tonight. Good evening. I'm Mark Bullock.
And I'm Valerie Lawson. It's a story we broke on Facebook. The Montgomery motorcycle officer who resigned following the incident learned today he's getting rehired.
WSFA 12 News has been on top of this story since that video surfaced, and we were there today as the police chief opened up and explained why he changed his mind. Live at MPD headquarters right now, reporter Tametria Connor. Tametria, on Tuesday, Chief Murphy said he had a zero tolerance policy for officers who break the law. So why the change of heart?
Well, Mark, the chief says he still has a zero tolerance for officers who break the law, but he says he had a change of heart. In this instance, he says there was not enough evidence to pursue traffic violation charges against the officer or the other motorists. Chief Murphy says he took that video that went viral to the city attorney and the city prosecutor and asked the question, will you pursue a prosecution in this matter? And they said no. Chief Murphy says Officer Carlos Rogers deserves his job back after having an unblemished record. Officer Rogers says it started off as a joke. Now he is apologizing to the citizens of Montgomery.
And I'm deeply sorry about that. I saw the video and I was called in about it, and I decided to resign because I was embarrassed. I couldn't take the embarrassment that I knew was going to follow that. And I never intended to bring a negative view onto the city, the Montgomery Police Department, or myself. I was just trying to show some fellowship.
And the chief says he's had so many comments and concerns about his decision from people all across this country, both negative and positive. But the chief says Officer Rogers will return to work in an administrative capacity for a few weeks until his disciplinary period is over, after which he will return back to the streets. We're live in Montgomery. Tametria Connor, WSFA 12 News.
And we're working on more coverage of this story for our 10 o'clock newscast. Find out how social media and the immediacy of that technology made a huge difference in this case.
The Montgomery police officer who resigned from the force following a street racing incident has been reinstated. Joining us live from the Montgomery Police Department, WSFA 12 News reporter Tametria Connor. And Tametria, how soon will he be back in uniform?
Well, Val, tomorrow, Officer Carlos Rogers will return right here to the Montgomery Police Department as a uniformed officer. Chief Murphy says he will be on administrative duty for a few weeks before he returns to the streets. Officer Rogers has accepted his responsibility, apologizing to the city, the department, and citizens. But the chief says a big part of this story is the role that social media played in this entire fiasco.
The camera is always on, and your actions, no matter what they are going to be scrutinized.
Montgomery Police Chief Kevin Murphy says this rings especially true in a time where just about everyone has some type of mobile device with a camera.
We were thrust into this situation where an incident occurred that made its way to the internet and really worldwide within just a matter of minutes.
Officer Carlos Rogers captured here racing another motorist.
I don't want to make up any excuse for what I did. I'm so thankful that the city of Montgomery and the Montgomery Police Department is a place of a second chance or another chance.
Chief Murphy says he's received numerous calls and emails, both negative and positive, about his decision. The chief says even though social media was not a factor in changing his mind, it did take the story to another level.
In as much of what happened, but then how it came out, it's part of this story. And it's a powerful story because what can happen in Montgomery, Alabama can go viral and literally be on the other side of the planet in 10 minutes.
Chief Murphy says it's a learning experience for the entire department.
It will not be the last time. We're going to continue to see social media having a greater impact on our culture. And the fact remains that we have to be cognizant of that as police officers.
I spoke with Lawrence Lee Spillers, the guy who recorded the race and then started the petition to get the officer's job back. He said he's happy that everything worked in the officer's favor. He actually spoke with Officer Rogers, expressing his remorse, and he said he wanted to make sure that he knew it was not his intention to get him in trouble. Live in Montgomery, Tametria Connor, WSFA 12 News.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tametria. Chief Murphy says the city attorney and prosecutors agreed there was not enough evidence to pursue charges. Right now on WSFA.com, you can find the full interview from Officer Rogers and Chief Murphy. Just look for this story.